So many people do ask me, what is it that I have to do to get rich? I say to get rich, first you have to get out of poverty. Getting out of poverty and being rich is not the same thing. Some people think that poverty are those people they see on the screens with flies all over their face, living in thatched roof houses, begging on the streets. No. These days, poor man, they wear suits. The poor person is that person that wakes up every morning, have to slave in traffic, get to work, enter train, enter bus, get to work, and work as hard as possible. And then get home every night tired. Do it every day for 30 days, and what they pay you is not enough. It's not enough for you to even do anything. It's not enough for you to start your own business, try out something new. It's not enough for you to even pay for your university degree. It's not enough for you to take care of any serious medical emergency. I saw somebody, he collapsed, all right? And they called the ambulance for him. And they put him on this stretcher and was wheeling him into the ambulance. And he woke up and saw, geez, I'm inside an ambulance. He jumped out and ran away. Why is he running? The cost of ambulance services will clear his bank account. I don't even know the country, but it's a foreign country. So if you are in such a position where you know that the money you receive per month is not enough, you are broke. You don't need to look it. You are broke. You know the truth. You know what I'm telling you. By the time you pay your house rent for the month, pay electricity bill, pay this, you are broke. The only thing left for you is $80. It's shocking. So first move of getting rich is get out of poverty. How do you get out of poverty? Target your single biggest expense and cut it. For 1 year, maximum 2 years. Cut your single biggest expense. And some of you, your biggest expense is your house rent. Think about it. I know some of these internet advisors will tell you, like Gary Vee will criticize how much you spend on a cup of coffee. He will say that a Starbucks cup of coffee costs, is it $10? Why would you do it for $10 when you can do it at home for $2? If it's a simple expense like that, it doesn't matter if coffee keeps you grinding for the day, okay? The only thing you should be worried about is your health. There are minor expenses you do, you know. That's not where the devil is. The devil is in the details. When you come to the single biggest expense for the month. So if you tabulate how much you spend on things per month, find the one that takes the most. Cut it. Nothing will happen. You will not die. For some of you, it's your house rent. They pay you £2,000 per month. And then at the end of the day, your house rent is taking £1,200. Now you're stuck with $800. It's like you're working to live, to work to live. You can't do anything. Like you're so tight. If somebody calls you from Africa to say, hey, auntie, do you have any money you can send me? You will just get angry. That anger is not your nature. It's the pressure the system is putting on you. This happens in all countries. In all countries. That's the truth. So if your house rent is your single biggest expense, listen, let me give you the secret. The secret is that your house rent should not exceed your 2 month salary. So let's say you're earning £1,000 per month. Your house rent should not exceed £2,000 for the whole year. Do you understand? So any house at all you can get under £2,000 for a year, not for a month. That's the perfect house rent for you. Now I can understand that in some situations, in some countries, some unique situations, it will be impossible to find such a house. Do you understand? But that tells you that you're working the wrong job. If you can't find such a house that after your salary for 2 months cannot get you that house for 1 year in that city, they are paying you too little at your job. You're not earning enough. Do you understand? It's a wake-up call to go and find where you can earn enough that your 2 month salary can sort out your house rent for a year. Because once it exceeds 2 months, you're just working to live. No matter how hard you work for the rest of the year, it's your landlord that is taking the money. You're not going anywhere. It's just like perambulating. Activity without progress. So if you are living in a house now that costs more than your 2 month salary, I want you to think about your life. Cut down. Nothing will happen. Houses are not as important as you think. Do you understand? Most of the things in your house, you don't use it at all. You barely ever use it. Think of your cushions, the cushions in your parlor. How many times do you get to sit on them? Very few. You don't need them. Like, I mean, like, if push comes to shove, like you want to cut down expense for 1 month, you don't need cushions. Everybody will sit on the bed. You know what I'm saying? For 1 year, nobody's gonna die. There's no scientific evidence that if you cut down on your house expenses, you sell off most of your house properties, that you're gonna die. There's nothing like that. Do you understand? Think of how much your curtains have cost you. The curtains in your house. You don't need all of them. If you cut down on the number of rooms in the house, you see that you don't need all those properties. You can sell them off. At least for 1 year, you're gonna bounce back. But this is where to make the biggest change. Do you know a family of 8 can live in 1 room? It happens. People are doing it. Some people only have the sense to do that when they are out of job and they can't find another one and they are at the bottom of the world. That's when they know that they can move back into a smaller space. But now, I'm telling you, you have to use that sense now. Your finances are a bit okay coming in per month, but it's not enough for you to get to the next level. You have to go into game mode. You know what I'm saying? Survival mode. So you need to cut down on that house rent. Move to a part of the city where you can get a smaller house. 1 room. Maximum 2. If you have like a very large family. You know? It doesn't have to look nice. As long as it's safe for you, it doesn't have to look super nice or anything. You're just going to be there for a year, maximum 2 years. You know, the reason many people want a very nice house with nice compound, nice this, nice that, you know that for the next 30 years, you can't stop paying for it. You're financially crippled for 30 years just to live in a nice place you can put on Instagram. The reason people do it is ego, what their friends will say. If you have a friend that will come to your house and say, why are you living in 1 room? That's not a good friend. Or a friend that will say, this house is not beautiful. He's not a good friend. Do you understand? If you have such a friend, cut them. Don't wait for them to come and say that. See, when I'm broke, you don't come to my house. You don't know where I'm staying. I'm not going to invite any friend. I don't have a friend when I'm broke. Because for me to be broke, it means all those friends are worthless to me. When you're broke and you know you're downsizing on your house, if you're a bit ashamed of what your friends will say, don't invite them. Just tell them you've relocated to somewhere else. Don't invite them to your house. Anybody that wants to come to your house can meet you at a restaurant down the street. Period. For 1 year, 2 years maximum. If you play your game well, let's say you're earning, let's say that your house expense per year is £2,000 per year, per month. You're spending £2,000. And you cut down to a 1-room apartment where you're paying £500. What you have, what you save every month is £1,500. That's what you save every month. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough and everything. But after 1 year, think of how much you have saved. Somewhere around 16 to 18,000 pounds that you've saved. This is enough money for you to accomplish anything you want to start in life. That makes sense. It's enough for you to start a company. Do you know that? All these tech companies, software companies have been saying you should start. Don't you watch Shark Tank and all these dragons then? It's enough for you to start such a company. 18,000 pounds in your armory is enough for you. Do you know how much is 18,000 pounds in most African currencies? With 1,000 pounds per month, you can employ about 2 to 3 graduates that will be working on that company. If it's a tech company, these are programmers. You know, the social media marketers, 2, 3, 4 safe with 1,000 pounds per month. Are you telling me that that company will not become something amazing in 1 year when you have spent 12,000 pounds? Maybe some other expenses, company registration and all. And then you pitch to an investor that invests millions in it. You can do this. The only thing is that you are not telling yourself the truth. You are living higher than your means. You are spending too much on rent, spending too much on that car. Do you really need it? The car you are paying off, what do you call it again? Do you need it? The car you are financing. Do you understand? If you have to finance anything, you are broke. You are too broke for it. It's not enough. You can't afford it. That's what it means. Tell yourself the truth. Cut down for a year or 2. If you are an adult, educated, and you are broke for more than 2 years, there's something wrong with you, not the system. Something is wrong with. There's something you're not doing well. If you can arrange your life properly and come up with a game plan, in a year or 2, you will see results. It is what it is. I'm gonna tell you the truth.